everybody, Ian from RTO here. It's Tuesday, quite a pleasant day here in Northampton. What have I got for you today? Well, we're going to do something really obscure. We're looking at a band from Russia called Imperial Age. They're down as a symphonic metal band from Moscow, founded in 2012 by singers and composers Alexander Ospropov and Jane Udinosepa. Apparently, they are the second most internationally touring metal band from Russia and the country's most well-known symphonic metal act. Now, Imperial Age, apparently, this is why I love them. I discovered them through a friend, and he said, "Look at this!" I'm like, wow, pretty cool. And they collaborate with people from bands called Therion and Arcona, which are again Russian metal bands. Don't know much about Russian metal bands, but I'm going to start looking into them. But it was a symphonic metal pioneer, Christopher Johansson, who caught on to them, and they do a version of Therion's song Mega to Therion, and it's pretty good. They've only released 3 sort of studio albums, and they have released 2 live albums. They are pretty awesome. So we're going to look at the 3 albums. One of them's like an EP, but there's enough songs to call it an album in my books. So let's have a look. Okay, coming at number 3 then is from 2016, and it's called Warrior Race. What this is, it features songs that they've re-recorded from their first album, which we'll talk about, and there's a few extra bits. And the people that played on this are Alexander Osprinov, who was vocals and keyboards, Dmitry Pokeshkin on the bass, Jane Ordisonova on vocals, Dmitry Kolokhev on drums, and Sergei Morstafosh on guitars. Well, as you know, my pronunciations of these Scandinavian Russians is not very good, so if you're watching it and I've said it wrong, I do apologise. Right, first track on here is called Vanalaheim. This is great. It's got metal, it's got orchestra, it's got chorus, because apart from them singing, they have lots of, like a choir. Oh, it's just, there's so much going on. It's really, really good. It's one of them things, you know, you sit there and you go, wow. Yeah, it's very good. Alexander Oprosnov has got a real deep tenor voice, and Jane Udinosa is more soprano. So when you get these two harmonising, it's fantastic. Then we get the Warrior Race. Again, I don't know what to say about it, because it is so good. You got some great double bass drumming in this. It cranks it up, and then you got these ripping guitar riffs that come in with the orchestra. It's big, it's dramatic. I've got their live albums, and they sound even more brilliant live. And then you get some dirty, what they call the dirty vocal in this. Sounds like the devil talking to you. It's amazing, stunning track. Then we get a thing called Arvavata. I don't know how it's pronounced, but this reminds me so much of Nightwish, Evanescence, that sort of sound. This is a more of a rock track, but it's a great track. Fantastic. Then they got the cover to Mega Therion. The original version of this, I did have a listen to it before I did this, and it's that version is superb. Now this version, I want to say, without swearing, is fantastic. I don't know what, it just blew me away. Death Guard is a re-recorded song from their first album, which we'll talk about more, but the re-recorded version is as amazing as the original. This has got an extra choral vocal in it. It doesn't take anything away from the original, but it's fantastic. It's like Battle Heart. That's from the first album. It's a terrific song. It sounds even better than the original, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Then we got the Anthem of Valor. Again, this is a re-recorded version of a song off the first album, which we'll talk about in a minute. It's terrific. They just give it, what they've done with these re-recorded ones, they haven't changed it much. They've just given it an extra depth, you know, put an extra synth in or an extra vocal. It's really done it. Time for Virginity. Quiet for, this is quite quiet for Imperial Age, but it still rocks. Again, they've just added to this is a few more harmonies. It's terrific. And the last three tracks is orchestral versions of Vanaheim, Warrior Race, and Anthem of Valor. They are superb. It's just, I love rock and symphonic together, and this is just superb. Absolutely brilliant album. I'll give it an RTO ranking of 8.5, and it's not very often I give the number at the bottom of the pile 8.5. It's just terrific. Okay, coming in at number 2 then is the debut album from 2012, Turn the Sun Off. This again features Alexander Osprinov, Maxim Kazadov on drums, Anastasia Fakina on vocals, Alexander Mishakin on bass, Oleg Mishin on guitars, and Leo Hellscream on guitars. So on this one, he hasn't got Jane Udsanova on it yet, and I think that's why they re-recorded the other songs to get her voice on. But it doesn't take anything away from the album. The opening track, Turn Off the Sun. This is called metal. It's just a unique sound. I love it. This track, I just love that double bass drum and the vocals and the effects. It's so dramatic. Terrific song. Wings of Your Heart. Got some great keyboard in this. It's a more traditional, heavy, progressive metal track. But you've got the orchestra coming in, and you've got Alexander with that nice tenor voice. Carries this song beautifully. It's just fantastic. Anthem of Valor, great track. Now what I love about this has got like a violin solo, and it keeps up with the double bass drum. Fantastic. But with the re-recorded version with Jane's voice in it, it really does lift it. I mean, this is great as it is, but that extra voice, that soprano sound, really did lift it. Hallow the Morning Sun. It's an instrumental. It's truly a fantastic piece of music. It's modern. It's something that Beethoven could have wrote. It's modern Beethoven, modern Handel, all them great classical composers. And you've got this. It is fantastic. Death Guard, again, this got a great opening riff. It's an amazing track, and the adding of Jane Udanosa in the remix, you can tell why they did it, because it is a great track without a doubt, but Jane did give it that extra bite. In the centre of the earth, just love the keyboards in this. This is just like metal, classical, choral. It's just outstanding. Time of Virginity, again, another great track. Great version of this, but adding the extra vocal on the remix makes it a classic track. Battle Heart. This is a track that I'd say it's metal meets Celtic meets Russian orchestral music. Brilliant track. But I do like the remix version better, again, because we got Jane's voice on it and it's just terrific. Northern Lights. This again is more of a traditional progressive metal song with orchestral elements. It's not so prominent, but it has got an absolutely belting guitar solo. The Castaways, dramatic vocal. I love this tenor voice in heavy metal. Absolutely blinding. Then we get Keepers of Death. This is great. This is a very medieval Renaissance sort of track. Reminds me very much of Blackmore's Night. If you're not heard of Blackmore's Night, it's Candice Night and Richie Blackmore. We'll be looking at them in a few weeks' time, looking at their catalogue. They're a great band, and that song, this reminds me of it, and I love this song because it is so familiar. Then we get a thing called Funeral March. Very Scottish. Got bagpipes in it. It's got the old drums. It's a bit like if you remember Mullin Kintyre from Wings when they're walking along the breach, the band's playing the bagpipes. It's very short. Right, the next track. This is hard to pronounce, so I've got to look at it. Vosinaizi Ogon Prognial. Well, that's what I think it sounds like. This is just like a vocal thing, very dramatic and a great way to end the album. This is solid. The debut album out of the top drawer, and I give it an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. Okay, my favourite album, number 1, is the third, and the current album, 2018, this come out, The Legacy of Atlantis. This has got Alexandra Ospranoff, Jane Udisnosova, Anna Mosaeva, Max Talion drums, Paul Merishassin guitars, and Dimitri Belf bass. Now this is it's quite a, I'd say it's quite a progressive album. It's very proggy in places. It is really good. It's a little bit more operatic as well. The Awakening is the opening track. Good start. You hear waves, and it's setting the scene. You got these little chants about, it's setting the scene for Atlantis, and it's quite a bit of a concept, this album as well. So it goes through the sounds and of like underwater, and it's fantastic. Then you get The Legacy of Atlantis. This is a melodic piece of music. It's got some lovely vocals throughout, because it's got more like a choral choir, but you've got Alexander, Jane, and Anna leading the the ensemble. It is a beautiful piece of music. The next track, The Monastery. Again, this is a super track. Nightwish style. It reminds me a little bit of during the Poet and the Pendulum, that quiet bit. It is just terrific. The guitar solo is stunning. It's got a nice little bit of Renaissance, bit medieval as well. It is terrific. Eternal Life Eternal. So atmospheric. It's just beautifully written, and it is so relaxing. Domine Keynes, The March of the Holy Inquisition. Alexander's voice on this is just absolutely stunning. I don't know how to describe how good this is, but it's. I just love the driving riff and the drums that sort of come into this track with the orchestra, and it flows beautifully. Then we get Love Eternal, which is different from Life Eternal. This is just a great rock operatic song. The vocals and the chorus are just top drawer stuff. I just love it. The Escape. This is a solid rock track. It's more rock, nice guitar riffs, stunning solo. Really, really good. Islands in Time. This is like a duet between Anna and Alexander. They complement each other so much. It is terrific. I just love this track. Then the last track is And I Shall Find My Way Home. My favourite track on the album. I love the keyboards, I love the vocal. It's just a fantastic track. It's a great album, and I'm looking forward to more material from this great band. I've put some stuff in the playlist for you to have a listen to. Found some live clips, so I've put that in. You can see what they look like and all that good stuff. But this album is a brilliant album, and I give it an RTO ranking of 9.5. Okay, it was a bit different. I'm hoping, give you something different to listen to. And this is what this channel's all about. I like to pass on stuff that is a bit obscure and get more fans. Just got to get ready for a very special show for later. It's the tribute to Don Everly, which will be good. So if you've got, get your thinking caps on for that. If you've got any memories or anything that really, while you're a Everly Brothers fan, put in the comments. And talking of obituaries, what a fantastic response to yesterday's the sad death of Brian Travers from UB40. Some very nice comments in the box. Some of it was very nice, especially for me being a rock fan. I do appreciate the music of UB40. He had such a distinctive sound, and you knew he was a great musician. Anyway, that's that'll be a special show. That's retro ranking next week, already sorted. So I've listened to some UB40 yesterday, and I've chosen my tracks. Okay, I shall get this one sorted, and then we'll go and do Don Everly. So take care for now.